Guys, it's me, it's Queen Elsetaroo, and thank you for joining me for another wonderful edition of the Ask An Aquarius. If you haven't already, please hit the red subscribe button and smack the bell. So I got a message from an Aquarius named Vicky, and Vicky told me that she was in a relationship for 7 years with a narcissistic, emotional, mental abuser, very similar to Voldemort. And she said that her issue is that she still is having a hard time shaking off the humiliation. Sometimes he would make fun of her, mostly about her weight. Vicky's a big gal, like I am, and he used to make fun of her about her weight and talk shit about her size of her clothes and things like that, all while he's sleeping with her, mind you. So it must not have been that much of a problem if you still coming over, okay? So she wants to know, what can she do about, like, she still feels feelings of humiliation behind it. And I just want to say that when you're dealing with somebody who's emotionally and psychologically, mentally abusive, that's the whole purpose. They want to destroy you, but they want to destroy you mentally, emotionally. So what they do is so that they can keep you underneath. See, this is the whole thing about them, is that they want to keep you afraid of not fucking with them. That's what it's all about. They want to keep you afraid of walking away from them, afraid that you can't do any better. That's one of their biggest things. They want to keep you afraid, and they also want to keep your self-esteem low, so you'll keep dealing with them. The higher your self-esteem is, the less likely you're going to deal with a narcissist, or less likely you're going to deal with somebody who's emotionally, mentally, physically, even sexually abusive. So their first thing they need to do is they need to fuck your head up. They need to get you in that space. So that's what they do. They come at anything that you're already self-conscious about. See, somewhere you must have already shown him that you were self-conscious about this, because Voldemort would do the same thing to me. Not when we were messing around, though. After we stopped seeing each other and I stopped being available to him, that's when all the cruelty really started. He said cruel things to me all the time whenever I would see him in the pop-up. That's why when I would make a cameo and see him, it wouldn't last more than a couple days, at the most 2 weeks, because he would start with the cruelty. And it was more so because he was trying to tear me down, because I was building up, you see. I was building up and getting away from him, had been away from him. And he was, every time he seen me, would try to attack to knock me back down. Or I'm going to knock her back down, she'll start fucking with me again. But I wouldn't let it go down. I would just, I would ghost him again. I would bail, you know, because I would feel it like, oh shit, he trying to get me under his thumb again. I'm out, you know. So that's what it's all about. It's about them trying to crush you so that you will be underneath their foot. So you must have shown him somewhere that you had some type of concern about your weight, or you weren't sure about your weight, or you had some kind of self-love issue going on, because that's what they do. Narcissists always want to talk to you. And most of the time, they're asking questions. And the reason why they're asking these questions isn't because they like you or they care about you or what they want to hear about what's going on with you. They're listening to hear your insecurities so that they can then use them against you. They're listening for anything they can use against you, really, but particularly your insecurities. Anything that you came off to him that you might have been concerned about, insecure about, anything like that, that's what they attack you with. They start talking shit about you. They start talking shit about your family. If you're insecure about your family, if your father was a drug addict, for example, they'll start coming at that, you know? When we stopped seeing each other, every time I saw him, he tried to come at my neck. The last time I talked to him, he tried to come at my neck. But the difference is that now I know that's his job. That's the job of the narcissist. That's the job of the emotional, mental, psychological abuser, is to destroy you mentally, emotionally, psychologically, so that they can get you back where they want you. That's all it's about. Because the truth is that if he really had a problem with your weight, he wouldn't have been around you, period. A man or a woman that doesn't like what their lover has going on, truly doesn't stay around them. He stayed around you for 7 years. If your weight was truly a problem, he wouldn't have stayed around 7 months, 7 weeks, 7 days, you know? So it wasn't the weight that was a problem for him. It was him using it as a weapon against you. So what has to happen is you have to find love for yourself. You have to love yourself as you are. I lost a lot of weight in the past, like, year and a half. And it wasn't because I wanted to lose weight, to be honest with you. The thing about me was that I've always known that the weight thing is a game. Society has two things that they can put people down for that are pretty much allowed, socially acceptable: weight and their sexuality. If you talk shit about somebody that's gay, bisexual, lesbian, most people nowadays is changing, but most people are not going to say nothing. Most heterosexual people going to let that ride. They're not really going to say nothing. Unless, of course, they have somebody in their life that they really care about that's gay, then they might take offense. But in most cases, they're just going to let it ride. They might laugh at your little joke and they may move on. And weight is the other one. If you say something about fat people, if you fat shame somebody, most people are not going to look at that negatively. So a lot of people in our society still come at people about those things. But for me, I've always seen it as the game that it is, because I would hear people say, "Oh, you so fat," and I'm thinking to myself, "But bitch, you're ugly. You got roaches in your crib. Your clothes look a mess. You got holes in your shoes. How the hell you gonna come at me for being fat?" And I just realized very early on in life that was just something that people use against you. People use anything against you that they can find, and if there's nothing else to use, they'll use that you're fat. That's the bottom line. So the thing is that you have to get comfortable with you as you are. If you're going to lose weight or not, because I lost weight and I'm still losing weight, but I've always been comfortable no matter what size I am. No matter what size I am, I love me and I'm comfortable with me. And that's the place you have to come to so that people like that can't use those kind of things against you. Even if you plan to lose weight, it doesn't matter. You still have to love yourself as you are. It doesn't help to hate yourself through any process. You see? So then people like that, if they are drawn around your aura, they won't be able to use that against you anymore. Okay? And the other piece of the equation is that now, because you've already experienced 7 years of this, you need to see somebody. You need to talk to somebody pretty regularly, because now you have to deconstruct the shit that he did to your mind. A narcissist is like a cult leader. They fuck up your mind, and you have to deconstruct the notions. You have to deconstruct the things that they said to you, because their thoughts will become your thoughts. After 7 years, a lot of things that he said have now become your thoughts. So now you have to work with somebody or use self-help books or whatever you want to do to deconstruct the notions from emotional abuse. That's why I recommend a therapist, a good one. And you might have to go to more than one to find the one that you like, but you have to find a good therapist, because a good therapist will help you deconstruct those notions and find more love for yourself. You see? Because the bottom line is that you're no more or less beautiful if you're a big woman. I know big women right now, that are models online, models for Ashley Stewart and things like that. And these women, I can put them next to a skinny broad, some of these skinny women, any day, and she'll run rings around her. You don't have to be a certain size to be attractive. Likewise, just because a person is skinny doesn't mean they're healthy. A lot of times you'll hear people say, "Oh, it's not that I don't like fat people. It's just that they're not healthy." But it's skinny people that's not healthy too. When I used to go to the gym, it would be skinny people in there huffing and puffing while I was running circles around them. So just because somebody's bigger than you doesn't mean you're more healthy than they are. See, these are all the little myths and things that people use to put other people down. But then when you deconstruct these things, then you're able to see that they're nothing more than just attacks. That's all they are. They're just attacks. They're just ways that people can put you down. But I guarantee you, if you look at somebody else, we all could put each other down for different things. Why do that? What good do you get from that when we all are imperfect? It makes no sense. So when it comes to being overweight, when it comes to being a big girl, you have to love yourself as a big girl. You have to work on this. You got to work on this up here. You have to love yourself as you are. Now, for me, I had to lose weight. It wasn't because I wanted to. I always loved myself as I was. I ran circles around them skinny chicks And when I dated men, all their boyfriends was in my face, okay? So the bottom line is that it's not about the way that you look. I lost weight because of my health. Because I noticed as I got older, if you're a big woman, as you get older, sometimes you start to have problems with your joints and mobility. You know, if you're not doing yoga or anything like that, your body starts to have problems with mobility. So that's why I started to lose weight, and I'm continuing to lose weight, because I want to be light. Like, I don't want to be hurting. I don't want to be waking up hurting. That's the bottom line. So I'm trying to get myself to a point where I was not so much weight on my joints. But it never was a thing where I didn't love me or I didn't think I was attractive. If you saw some of my pictures from back in the day, I always knew I was a hot mama. But the bottom line is that when my health, when my weight started affecting my joints, that's when I realized, okay, now I got to change. But still didn't stop loving myself, didn't stop seeing my own beauty, didn't stop any of those things. I loved myself through the process. So you have to do the same thing. And like I said before, you got to see somebody, because like I said, when a person has been mentally and emotionally abusing you for 7 years, your mind is like mincemeat. I mean, it's gone through so much. Your mind is constantly fighting their notions and then reinforcing their notions and then fighting them again. Voldemort said horrible things to me, and I don't even remember all of them, because as you heal from them, you don't even remember them anymore. But when you're still in it, you're constantly dealing with them. But he said horrible things to me, and they used to hurt me at that time. But then when I started to realize that that was his job, a narcissist, that's his job. And I'm like, okay, so don't listen and believe nothing he said. That's the deconstructing part, not believing and listening to anything that they said. They've already said it. It's in your mind. So now you have to go get somebody to help you change your mind, rewire your mind, get that stuff out. And right now, while you're looking for somebody or working through that process, doing loving yourself work will help with the process. Underneath this video, I'm going to tag some things that I've used personally that will help you with the loving yourself process. That's what you want to do right now. Focus on loving yourself, because that's going to help you deconstruct the humiliation and the hurt feelings and all of that. All that is tied to the thoughts. Once the thoughts are gone, the feelings go. I can't even remember. If I sit there and try to remember the things he said to me, because to Voldemort, nothing about me was right. And at the time, a lot of stuff about me was wrong. But half of the stuff that he said was totally erroneous. He just made up to entertain himself, you know? So I was insecure about certain things. So it was an easy target, you know? But now that I'm stronger and I'm more secure about things, the biggest thing about me is that anything he said to me, I don't believe anymore. You know, and that's where you have to come to a space where you know that the shit your narcissist said to you is bullshit. That's the space you have to go to. So work to deconstruct those thoughts. Work on loving yourself fiercely. Fiercely love yourself. And you will come on the other side too. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. Please pass it on to anybody you think may like it. If you want to give a love donation, my PayPal is going to be underneath this video. If you would like to have a tarot or oracle card reading, you can email me. My email will be under the video. And if you want an answer to a general question for free, you can email it to me, or you can put it underneath the comments of any of my videos. Okay, guys, and pass me on, pass me everywhere. Just share me. Share me with the world. See you later. Bye-bye.